Today, we're going to break down how Arsenal has quietly built a secret weapon that's making them one of the most dangerous teams in all of Europe. Okay, let's get into it. It all comes down to this one number, 0.58. Now, right now, that probably doesn't mean a whole lot to you. But trust me, it's a number that should have every single one of Arsenal's rivals sitting up and paying very close attention. So, what is it? You got it. That .58 is Arsenal's expected goals from set plays per match. Basically, it's a measure of just how deadly they become from corners and free kicks. And honestly, it's the key to understanding their entire competitive edge this season. And look, this isn't just a story about the Premier League. That figure, .58, makes Arsenal the most productive team from dead balls across all of Europe's top 5 leagues. But to really get why that's such a big deal, let's quickly break down what that metric we're using actually means.
Okay, so expected goals, or XG. Think of it this way. It's not just about how many shots you take, it's about how good those shots are. So, an XG of 0.58 means that from set plays alone, Arsenal are creating enough high-quality chances to score more than 1 goal every 2 games. It's an incredibly high and, more importantly, consistent source of attack.
And this, right here, just shows you how wild that is. Arsenal aren't just topping the charts. They're outperforming teams that have literally built their reputations around being set-piece specialists. We're talking about the giants of the set-piece world here, teams like Union Berlin, RB Leipzig, and Juventus. It's a huge statement.
But here's the really crucial part. This isn't some accident, not a flash in the pan. This dominance is the direct result of a very deliberate, long-term strategy that they've been building for years.
Just look at this timeline. You can literally see the progression, a clear, step-by-step improvement year after year. From 2021 all the way to today, the trend is just undeniable. This is a story of consistent, methodical growth. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. While Arsenal's numbers have been shooting up, the average for the rest of the Premier League has stayed pretty much flat. So the gap between them and everybody else is getting wider and wider. They're not just getting better, they're pulling away from the pack. Right now, they are literally doubling the league average.
And it's not just about the raw numbers, It's about a real shift in how they attack. This chart shows you just how much of their total threat now comes from set plays. It's become this huge, dependable part of their game that they can fall back on, especially in those tight matches when goals from open play just aren't coming.
So, the big question is, how? How on earth did Arsenal pull this off? Well, the answer lies in a meticulously constructed master plan. It really all boils down to 3 key pillars: a specialist coach, the architect of the whole system, a squad that's been specifically recruited to execute it, and a core philosophy that guides everything they do.
So let's meet the architect, Nicolas Jover. He was brought in from Manchester City back in 2021, and his impact has been, well, it's been transformational. He might be a bit of a hidden figure to the public, but believe me, his work is on full display every single weekend.
I saw this quote that I think just perfectly captures what Jover has brought to the team. It talks about consistency, precision, and clarity unmatched anywhere else in the Premier League. It's that obsessive level of detail that really sets them apart.
Next up, you have the squad. And this is not an accident. It is absolutely by design. The club's recruitment has clearly targeted players who are specialists in these situations. You've got Declan Rice putting in world-class deliveries, you have Gabriel, who is one of the most dominant aerial threats in the entire league, and you have a whole system where every player knows their job, whether it's blocking a defender or making one of those clever runs from deep. And finally, there's the philosophy, and it's surprisingly simple: consistency over complexity. Arsenal aren't trying to reinvent the wheel every single week. Instead, they focus on perfecting a few core principles: fast, in-swinging balls, using multiple players as blockers to create that little bit of separation for their main targets, and having attackers start deep to build up ahead of steam. The changes week to week are subtle, but that foundation is absolutely rock solid.
Okay, so this all brings us to the most important question of all. With this huge reliance on set plays, is this a stable foundation for a real title challenge, or could it actually become a potential crutch?
There are really 2 ways to look at this. On one hand, having a reliable, repeatable way to create chances is a massive advantage over a long, grueling season. It gives you a way to win games even when you're not playing your best. But
On the other hand, history tells us that title-winning teams almost always combine that set-piece threat with elite creativity from open play. And finding that perfect blend, well, that's the real trick.
And here's the thing. The clock is ticking, the secret is out. More and more clubs are now hiring their own dedicated set-piece coaches, trying to copy the formula. This makes that head start Arsenal has a seriously critical advantage that they have to fight to keep.
So, what's the bottom line here? As the margins at the top of the table get tighter and the pressure keeps mounting, could this meticulously crafted set-piece machine be the one thing that finally pushes Arsenal over the line? Honestly, that might just be the most compelling question to watch for the rest of this season.